What's up, guys? Welcome to another episode of Pick Six Nation. And this time, it's going to be episode number 157. And my guests for this episode are Brandon Gianascoli and Gianluca Cofini from the BGF podcast. Guys, thank you so much for coming on. It's Gianluca's first time on this show. And Brandon, thank you for coming back on. Thank you guys for coming on. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
You're welcome. Thank you. I'm excited. I'm excited to talk ball with you guys. And not only that, make sure to go check out the BGF podcast. The links to that will be in the description of this episode. So make sure you go check these guys out. They have a great show. Absolutely go check them out.
Appreciate it.
Thank you. Thanks. You're welcome. Let's talk about our takeaways from week 8. We had a lot of great games. Starting off with
another great week of football.
Absolutely. Let's start with the Bucs Bills. What do you guys take away from that game?
Right. It feels like that game was ages ago, man.
I know.
I was from what I remember from it. Buffalo was kind of running away with it, and then Tampa made a nice little comeback towards the end. Couldn't quite. I remember they threw the Hail Mary to Godwin. Godwin could have caught that ball.
I know.
But it was coming quickly to him. He wasn't really looking, so kind of tough break for them. But Bills showed that they're still a pretty dominant team.
Yeah, I agree with that 100%.
It was impressive to see them move the ball in that Bucs defense. We know how good it has been, and just to see Josh Allen in form some parts of that game was really nice to see.
100%. But nice win by the Bills.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I think we got that game. Anything else you want to touch on regarding that game?
Yeah, Mike Evans was relatively quiet throughout that game.
Yeah, 100%.
Which is rare to see. It looks like Chris Godwin's really the preferred target for Baker right now.
Yeah, but that was a nice touchdown catch by Mike Evans late.
Yeah,
that was a really nice touchdown play by him. But really nice win by the Bills for sure. So you love to see that. Do you want to move on to what other game should we move on to?
Say we talk about this Panthers big time win.
I know. They get their first win of the year with the game-winning field goal.
Yeah, Bryce Young beating out his runner-up.
Yeah. I mean, great win by the Panthers. I mean, you really love to see the Panthers get that win there. You really do.
Yeah, in our preview from last week, Gianluca actually picked Carolina to get their first win in that game. So
nice.
He saw that one coming. I didn't. I picked Houston. So
yeah, I picked Houston as well to win that game.
Even but I had a little. Okay, I'm not gonna say I thought Carolina was gonna win, but the spread in that game being 2.5 on Houston side, I thought was a bit low. So I'm like, this might be a little trick spot, you know.
Yeah, I see what you're saying, man. I see.
But CJ Stroud, man, I don't know. Coming off that bye, hasn't been the same quarterback.
He'll be good. CJ Stroud is going to continue to play some awesome football. He'll do that. He'll continue to do that for sure.
Yeah, I just feel like there's issues in the roster right now that he doesn't really have the supporting cast to do his thing. But he has shown flashes where he can be great. I just hope he can pick it up again and get back to it.
Yeah, CJ Stroud is going to be good. No worries there.
Then on the Carolina side, Miles Sanders looks like he got that big contract and not much. He only had 2 carries for 0 yards, I'm pretty sure.
Yep.
He didn't do much there. It looks like Chuba Hubbard's going to be the main back there. And yeah, even Adam Thielen continues on his hot streak he's been on this season. Looking like the legit number one back in his prime, like Gianluca knows from Minnesota.
Yeah.
I mean, we missed 19, but I think number three's stepped up into a huge role and
Yes, sir, Jay.
can't be mad at the production we're seeing from him. But no, happy that Thielen's getting it done, especially at 33 years of age, I'm pretty sure.
Mm-hmm.
Still showing that he can be that alpha is good for him. I believe he will get an extension in the offseason. So good on Thielen, man.
Yeah.
Because I didn't believe he could still do this, to be honest. I thought he had maybe 1, 2 more years left, but looks like he's going to extend his career off this year. Probably going to get a nice contract.
Yeah, for sure.
We can see that. But nonetheless, nice win by Carolina
Mm-hmm.
on the game-winning field goal too.
Yes, sir. I want to jump into the Cowboys game next.
Yeah, what a dominant win! I mean, that was domination from the start, man. Dak Prescott, great game. Deron Bland, he had a nice pick six. I mean, Cowboys get a dominant win. CD Lamb having a hell of a day. Cowboys defense having a hell of a day. Just great win by Dallas all around.
Yep, the recipe for Dallas getting wins. The defense sets the tone early on, and then the offense follows. Like that's going to be really for them to get wins. They're gonna have to target CeeDee Lamb like they did in this game. He was dominating the Rams defense. So good win for Dallas, and that gives them a bit of confidence now.
Yeah, I really
Yeah,
like what you said about their defense. Whenever that defense really gets going, you just see Dallas turn into a different team. It's almost as if it's like that, I don't know, that drumbeat to that offense, and we saw it showcased here against LA, and just huge win for them.
Mm-hmm.
100%, 100%,
That's
hundred
probably the
percent.
best we've seen Dak look all year. So
Yeah,
He's been having a pretty nice year.
yeah, he's had his good games, but this one was probably I'd say his best.
good to see CD going too. Happy for that. Need him incorporate a little more in that offense, which hopefully that's where they go moving forward.
And then you look on LA side, Cooper Cup only catching 4 balls. I'm not used to that for 21 yards.
Right.
And yeah, that's off day for them. Stafford now is banged up. I don't think he might start this week, but I'm not 100% sure. I don't think he will. So that's another concern for them. I don't know. The season's kind of falling away from them. The Rams, they got to get something going quick here if they want to try and make a playoff push. But I don't see them really making the playoffs this year.
Yeah, what'd you think about this one, Michael?
They still could. I mean, they could still make the playoffs. They still have a chance to do that, but that is a pretty rough injury to Stafford. Though it was nice to see Royce Freeman find the end zone. So you like to see that. Nice for him to find the end zone. Yeah, but I mean, you had a great dominant win by Dallas. CD Lamb catching 2 TDs. Great win by Dallas. Just dominant win by Dallas.
Couldn't agree with you more.
Mhm.
They just dominated from beginning to end, and it wasn't even close.
Yep, 100%. Could not agree with you more.
What do we got next? Move into that Minnesota heartbreaking. Well, they won, but heartbreaking at the end of the game.
I
Kirk
know.
You
Cousins got
want to do
wrong.
this now?
Yeah.
24-10, Minnesota Vikings win.
Came at
Yes.
what cost? Losing your quarterback for the year, man.
Yeah, I know. That's rough, man. That's rough.
I mean, it was a great win. Big time win in Lambeau, 2 scores. So that was nice to see. Offense was rolling. Addison continues to be just the alpha we need next to Jefferson. Hopefully he can keep this up when JJ's back. It's just you lose Kirk Cousins for the year, right? So you get the rookie. What happens? You need a run game, which is something the Vikings don't have, just to sort of help out Jaren Hall in tough situations. Usually when rookies come in, they lean towards the run. That won't be the case, but he does have a very good O line, very good receiving core. So he does have a decent scenario. We'll see, man. The Vikings are gonna see what they have in Jaren Hall.
And anyway, now that they got Josh Dobbs, they have a nice little security blanket there. I don't know what the plan is if after this week, if Dobbs is like they're planning on him to play, or if it's just going to be Jaren Hall until he kind of burns out a little bit.
I mean, as a fan, I would want to see Jaren Hall just to see what we have in him. If you really need to invest in another quarterback, or if you can build off of what he does. I feel like if Josh Dobbs comes in, it's the season's over, and we're just trying to get what we can. And I don't know, man. I hope Jaren Hall's good.
Yeah, because they're in a decent spot right now. They're looking good to get into the playoffs. I still can't believe you guys are only one game behind us. Crazy.
Hey, week
From the
to
way
week,
the season,
week to
I
week
know.
league.
from the way both of our teams started, for us to only be one game ahead of you guys is kind of crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. Just and then just to touch up on the Packers real quick. As a Vikings fan, it's really nice to see them suck, and I think the Bears can agree with me here.
Yeah.
Uh,
I don't know. Yeah.
the
You guys will
receiving
be.
core needs help. I don't think Christian Watson is the answer. I think Jordan Love doesn't really have the alpha like the Devontae. Ever since Devontae's left, at least they haven't really filled the void. They have a decent run game. They just, I don't know, it doesn't click. Their O line is iffy, and their defense is not what everyone thought it was. Especially now that they move Rasul Douglas. So just a
Yeah.
tough season for the Packers all around.
Yes.
Yeah, Minnesota's defense has really shown up the last few games with Brian Flores. He's got them playing really well.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Daniil
Daniel
Hunter, man,
Hunter,
10 sacks on the year.
Yep. Daniil Hunter's been having a great year, man. Like, for sure.
nobody's talking about him.
That's true. That's true.
I mean, I saw JJ Watt give him some love on Twitter the other day, but other than that, that's about it.
Yeah. But great win by the Vikings nonetheless. I mean, like, really, really nice win. For sure. So you do love to see that
Mm-hmm.
for the Vikings, yeah.
Next up, we can move on to the Eagles and Commanders game. That was a pretty wild game, wild ending.
That was.
I know.
We see the Commanders have that lead early, and like they did in the first meeting, and they blow it. AJ Brown absolutely destroying that secondary like he did in
Yes.
both games.
Yep.
And no matter who's on him, man, his catches for those 2 touchdowns were insane.
Yes. 100%. I mean, the Eagles just continue to win and continue. They just, I mean, they just continue to have an amazing season. They've just been great.
Mm-hmm. And yeah, AJ Brown, like the last few games, has really been putting up big time numbers, and he's coming into his own right now. And
100%.
and even we got to see Julio Jones in the end zone. I didn't think we'd see that this year, so that was something.
Yeah, that was really nice to see Julio Jones get a score. That was really nice to see that too.
Mm-hmm. And on the Commander side, yet again, Sam Howell puts up a nice game, but the defense can't hold up.
But Sam Howell's been having a nice season. Very underrated guy. I think he's over 2,000 passing yards on the year or something like that. And he's like, I think 15 sacks ahead of the second quarterback who's taking the most sacks. It's some crazy number. And Eric Bieniemy has this offense rolling, and who would have thought beginning of the year?
100%.
But just now they move on from Chase Young and Sweat. We're gonna talk about that later, and I think they know as a team that their season's probably done. But it's I don't know. What do you guys think about this Washington team?
Well, one thing about yesterday, I was hoping they would get rid of Brissett, and it didn't happen. That I'm disappointed about. But anyway, still got everyone involved though in this game. Jamison Crowder, who I didn't even know was on this roster until Sunday. 7 receptions for 95. Jahan Dotson 8 for 108. So everyone really produced. All the receivers played their part, and it's just unfortunate for them. They played really well. They just couldn't get over the line in the end.
Yeah, I mean, great win by the Eagles again. They got it done. Hassan Reddick with that sack, and then the DeAndre Swift touchdown. Really, really nice stuff from the Eagles again.
Yes, sir.
You want to talk about this touchdown-less game in New York? The battle.
Yep.
The battle.
The battle of the field goals.
Yep. That great
One
strip.
team, they scored a touchdown apiece, I believe. I
Wait,
remember.
can we go back? I want to go back to the Eagles game for the second.
No
that was a great strip sack by Hassan Reddick, and then that was amazing on Sam Howell, and then you have the DeAndre Swift touchdown to seal the deal. Great win by Philadelphia again.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Let's go.
Giants and Jets game.
That was a crazy game. I mean,
it was kind of a snooze fest, to be honest. But yeah, in the end, they ended up.
Fourth quarter is where it picked up.
The fact these guys were able to get to overtime with 7 passing yards, it's kind of crazy.
Yeah, unfortunately, Tyrod Taylor did leave the game with a rib injury. Really unfortunate there. Hopefully, he can get better as soon as possible.
Mm-hmm. I don't know if it's a long-term injury or even Daniel Jones. I don't know when he's coming back, but I saw that Tommy DeVito was signed to the active roster yesterday, so I don't know if that's a sign that he's going to play or what, but
I mean, if you don't have Jones or Tyrod, I feel like he's in. He's next man up, and
it wasn't
we'll see what
pretty.
he's got. Yeah, no, just Zach Wilson coming in clutch in the biggest moments of the game, especially that fourth quarter drive where he drove them down to the field and scored a field goal, made that big time throw to, I believe it was Garrett Wilson. And you know what? I got to give props to Zach. I didn't think he would show this sort of progress, but he's been developing into a decent quarterback. Maybe it's the Aaron Rodgers treatment. I don't know, but good on Zach.
Yeah, I was impressed with him. Even Garrett Wilson, though, even without Rodgers, and as much as Zach Wilson's been like better than he has been, he's still a bottom tier quarterback. To still be producing like he has been, I'm impressed with that on Garrett Wilson's end.
100%. 100%. I mean, great win by the Jets. You love to see that.
Yeah, even on the sorry for that.
Zach Wilson to Breece Hall for that touchdown. Zach Wilson, nice touchdown pass to Breece Hall. Breece Hall taking it in for the score. Love to see that.
Yeah, that was a huge play for my fantasy team right there.
Yeah. Yeah, that was pretty cool. Nice.
And even with them, I was surprised yesterday that Dalvin Cook wasn't moved. I wonder if there was like just a lack of interest or what, but I was hoping he would get moved because it feels like he's just being wasted right now with the Jets, even though he has looked very, very bad. I would have liked to see the Vikings go back in for him.
I was honestly about to say that I wouldn't have been shocked if Kwesi sent like a 7th for him and brought him back, but I mean, I think it was just a lack of productivity. He hasn't been the same back that we're used to, and I think teams are scared of that, especially with his age, his contract situation, and all that. It's just It's unfortunate for Dalvin. It's probably going to be his last year on an NFL roster. Just hope the guy can turn it around. But I mean, with what Brees has done, I doubt they go back to him.
You think though his last year on the roster, you don't think anyone else would give him a shot next year?
I mean, with the way the NFL is going and the trajectory of running backs, I doubt it. They usually tend to go after one in the draft, and they like the guys on rookie deals just because of the cap hit, and they don't like investing money in an RB because it is the most injured position in all of football, unfortunately. And to have that much money in a guy and not have him produce or be hurt is just not what teams want.
Yeah, true. Plus, we saw now with like Fournette, he got picked up recently off the Bills practice squad, but it took forever for him to even get a deal. So yeah,
Yeah.
it could be one of those situations going into next year. A team that really needs a back mid-season, maybe picks him up.
Yeah. Yeah. I could see that too. But that was, I mean, it was great by the Bills to get Leonard Fournette. That was a really nice move.
I wonder if because I don't know what Damian Harris if he's gonna come back anytime soon. But yeah, they do need a bit of depth at that position because Latavius Murray hasn't really been doing much, and James Cook's he's had his games where he's looked very good, and he has his games where he's iffy. So it's nice to have a bit of depth at the position.
Plus, you're adding a veteran guy who can, run between the tackles and hard downfield runner. Take the work off James Cook, make him rest a little bit.
Yeah. Are we good? I think we're good with the
Giants, Jets, yeah.
Yeah. Do you want to let's go to what other game should we go to? Let's go to we got the Vikings. We got the Vikings, Packers, the Cowboys, Rams, the Eagles, Commanders.
The Will Levis show.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Showing out him and DeAndre Hopkins. Felt like every time he threw that ball downfield, man, it was complete.
What a game for the Titans to win. I mean, it's really unfortunate that Grady Jarrett tore his ACL. Really, it's a pretty brutal loss for the Falcons. Mm-hmm. Hopefully he can get better as soon as possible, man. It's just brutal.
Yeah, it is an unfortunate loss for the Falcons. But yeah, it's very big positive for Tennessee, though, with Will Levis. He's looked as good as I've ever seen any Tennessee quarterback in recent times. And looks like him and Hopkins do have a nice little connection there. And yeah, they didn't move Henry yesterday. They didn't move D-Hop, so it looks like they're still going to be trying to compete, trying to get into playoffs. So I think he probably gives them the best chance. Even if Tannehill does come back, I think he should still be starting for them.
Well, I mean, we'll see what happens there, of course. I also really like Will Levis sticking up for Malik Willis. I thought that's awesome that he did that. I'm glad that Will Levis he stood up for Malik Willis. I thought that was really cool that he did that.
What did he say? I didn't see.
Malik Willis was getting boos and whatnot. Was getting boos from the Titans fans. So glad to see Will Levis stick up for him.
Yeah, it is a tough break for Malik that he came in the game a few times and he fumbles. So.
Yeah, that's not a good look. But I mean, hopefully, I don't think he stays in Tennessee. If I'm being honest, I think they will probably move him because I know they love Will Levis down there. So hopefully, he gets a shot somewhere else and they give him a fair opportunity. Because I mean, I don't blame them. Will Levis sort of came in and just took over, and we saw what he did. He has more touchdowns in one game than they did all season. I mean, sorry, by Tannehill. So I don't see them moving away from him unless there's an unfortunate injury or something.
Mm-hmm. Then on the Falcon side, we see Desmond Ridder he goes down with like a concussion, and then I really think it was more give them a reason to bench him now. And Taylor Heineke's in, and we did see that also he is going to be starting next week. So I think he looked good when he came in. And we'll see. They're playing the Vikings next week actually, so we'll see Heineke how he looks there.
Yeah.
Yeah, interesting matchup.
Yeah, but nonetheless, nice win by Tennessee. You love to see that. Will Levis and DeAndre Hopkins connecting. That's really for 3 touchdowns, which is awesome. So, but you love to see it. That's awesome.
Even Derrick Henry had a nice game, 22 carries for 101. So another good game for him, which when he had struggled early on, so it looks like he's getting back to his former self.
Yep.
And even Drake London also went down this game with a groin injury. Hopefully, he'll be fine to play next week.
Absolutely. Hopefully, Desmond Ridder can get better as well as soon as possible.
I know that's your boy, Desmond Ridder.
Yep. Yes.
You're a Desmond Ridder believer?
Yes.
I don't know. We'll see next week. I think Heineke's in, but we'll see the week after that what they do going forward.
Right. We'll see.
He's definitely still got a shot to get back in.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Do you want to go to Jacksonville, Pittsburgh?
Yeah, we can go there.
Yeah, we can go over that.
Yeah. Jacksonville getting the win, so you love to see that there. Really nice win by Jacksonville.
Yes, sir. They're quietly a 6-2 team, so they had their struggles early on, and now since those London games, feels like they've really gotten back on track and got their groove back.
Yep.
We saw Calvin Ridley a bit more involved in this game than he had been in past weeks, so that was nice to see as well. Evan Ingram has like a career game, 10 for 88. And yet again, Travis Etienne, another guy who's gone under the radar, I find a lot.
Yep.
He's been one of the top 5 backs in the league this year, and yet again puts up a nice performance for him.
100%.
It's crazy to think, like, I mean, if you guys watch this game, right, it feels like the Jags were almost always on offense.
Yeah.
And this Pittsburgh defense was just like holding them to 3, holding them to punts, few turnovers here and there. It's crazy how good the Steelers defense is and how much they've helped this team win in previous weeks. And how much, like, just imagine this team with I don't know, an offense that can put up maybe 20 points consistently. How
Mhm.
good the Pittsburgh Steelers will be.
Yeah, I was gonna say that too. The score was 20-10, but like I can't believe it. It didn't feel like that because they did. It felt like Jacksonville had the ball like almost the whole game. So yeah, and even now that Kenny Pickett goes down with Trubisky, I don't see the offense getting any better with him. So a lot of quarterback injuries though this week, which is unfortunate.
Yeah, that's really unfortunate. Hopefully Kenny Pickett could get better as soon as possible.
Yep. And Deontay Johnson, his best game since he's come back, 8 for 85. Gianluca knows how I'm a fan of Deontay Johnson, so I'm happy to see that. I want to see him get in the end zone. It's been a while, so.
Yeah, Deontay Johnson had a really nice game, man. What a game from him. He had a really nice game. So you love to see that. You love to see George Pickens getting the touchdown.
Yeah, it was a nice touchdown.
Yeah, that was a really nice touchdown by him. Great performance from both defenses. I thought both defenses played really well in that game, for sure.
Yeah, Josh Allen, another guy too, that second in the league in sacks. I don't hear a lot of people talking about him either.
Yep. So, yeah, nice win by Jacksonville.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think we got that with that game. Anything else you want to touch on with you guys want to touch on with Jacksonville?
No, I think we covered it.
All right, cool. Let's go to Baltimore, Arizona. Great win by Baltimore. They got it done. Really nice win by them.
Yep, another team that continues to perform and one of the better teams in the AFC right now. They're one of the contenders in the NFL right now. So I hope they can make a run once we get to the playoffs.
Yeah. I mean, what a game from Gus Edwards. I mean, like 3 rushing touchdowns. That's amazing. Lamar Jackson had a really nice game. Mark Andrews looked great. Ravens defense was phenomenal. I mean, what a game from Baltimore. Really, really, really nice win by Baltimore.
Mhm.
Just winning on all sides of the field. I mean, offense, defense, and special teams. Arizona still did put up 24 points, which I mean they have had an underrated season in my opinion. If you watch these games, they're in a lot of them and good on them, but I think this is the type of team we expected them to be. I don't think anyone was going in here thinking Arizona was a playoff team. So, I mean, it's unfortunate because they have been playing better than their record, but I mean, they are 1-7 and Kyler Murray's coming back, so maybe it changes things, but I don't think so.
Yeah, I'm kind of excited to see though this team with Kyler back. It's been a while since we've seen him play, so
Yeah,
I
yeah,
wonder
yeah.
what if he could at least get them a few wins here and there, see if he makes a difference that can get them competitive because they got a lot of money invested into him. So he's gonna have to start. He's gonna have to elevate the players he's playing with.
Yeah.
Even Trey McBride now, since Zach Ertz went out with his injury, I think he's out for the rest of the year. Zach Ertz. McBride's looked very, very good for them. He got drafted. He was the first tight end off the board last year. I'm pretty sure. Well, the year where with Malik Willis's draft, and it's nice to see him starting to come into his own and breaking out right now in the last 2-3 weeks.
Yeah. Yeah, 100%. I agree with you there, man. I agree with you on that, Brandon.
Yeah, this is kind of the result we expected. We both picked for our survivor picks Baltimore, so happy to see them get the win here, and we know what direction these two teams are going in. So
100%, 100%, 100%.
So yeah, I guess we can move on to the game
The
that
Hawks and the
didn't.
Browns.
Okay, yeah, good. I was gonna
Wait,
say
Browns Seahawks? Let's go to that game. Let's go to Browns Seahawks.
good.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, Seahawks get the win here by 4, and they're now top of the division, which is hurt. It hurts, man.
Yeah, man. I mean, nice win by Seattle. Really nice win by Seattle. Jackson Smith and Jigbo with the game-winning touchdown. Yeah, but really great performance from both defenses. PJ Walker had a really nice game. Nice game from Geno Smith. Nice game from both teams. Really great performance overall, for sure.
Yes, sir.
Yeah,
We
this was
see.
a fun little matchup.
See JSN get into the end zone again. He's starting to come along the last few weeks as well. And Jake Bobo, another guy who just came out of a rookie that came out of nowhere. He's played a factor for Seattle and has helped them out these last few weeks.
Making some big time catches in this one. I think he only had 2 of them, but I think both
The,
third down conversions.
yeah, and then he had the touchdown as well early on in the game.
Yep. I mean, Seattle getting it done again is great. Really nice to see that.
And I saw today that Deshaun Watson was practicing for Cleveland, so I wonder if he's gonna
That's
get into
awesome.
if he's gonna get in soon. I don't know. I don't know, every time he's played for them, it just feels like he's always getting banged up or I don't know, stuff just doesn't go well. They played. I'll give credit to Cleveland though; they've played very well since he's been out, and now he's gonna come back soon, and we'll see what they look like there because that defense has been absolutely amazing for them this season.
100%. 100%. 100%. Yeah, man, but it's nice to see that Deshaun Watson is practicing, which is good. Really nice to see that. Yeah, nice to see that. Hopefully he can play this week.
Mm-hmm. Anyway, do we next? You guys got anything else on this game or?
I think we covered it. Do you want to go to?
Let's get this Niners stuff over with.
Bengals get a
Talk
nice
about the
win.
Niners.
Yeah,
The defense has been terrible, man, these last few weeks. It's crazy how they went from the best to looking like one of the worst right now. It's Steve Wilkes now on this bye week has a lot to figure out. Get them playing better. Feels like a guy like Nick Bosa, since he's gotten paid, he has the most pressures in the NFL, but that doesn't really matter when you're not turning them into sacks and turning them into big plays that sets the opposing offense behind the sticks. So I don't know. I feel like in this game, Brock Purdy's going to get a lot of heat for this, but besides those 2 turnovers, I found he actually played a pretty solid game. And like we said earlier on in the week, he is a second-year quarterback, so people are holding him to this godlike standard. When he's a second-year quarterback, these mistakes are going to happen, and he wasn't going to just put up 30 plus per week every week. So it is what it is. We're struggling right now, but going into the bye week, we pick up Chase Young. Hopefully, that could give the team a boost. And yeah, we play Jacksonville up next, so it doesn't get any easier now.
right. Yeah, right. Yeah, man.
And yeah, I'll give credit to Cincinnati though. Joe Burrow looks like he's back to full health. He had a really
100%,
nice game, especially on the ground. Whenever on third down they needed a big run to get them the first, he was there. He got it for them. And him and Jamar Chase were absolutely destroying our defense. So it is what it is. And
Right. Yeah. Right.
we go again in week 10.
Absolutely. Yep. Great win by Cincinnati, though. They get it done. Yeah. Really nice win by Cincinnati. Yeah. Anything else you want to touch on regarding this game?
The fact that Christian McCaffrey seems to be the only guy that can get in the end zone for us.
Yeah. Man, he's been
Insane, amazing.
Yeah. He's been on an insane
wonder-
streak.
Yeah, I wonder where we'd be without him. MVP level stuff he's been doing this year. Yeah, I think we touched on what we needed to win this game.
Yep.
What do we got next up on the list? New Orleans.
Got the surprise Broncos win.
Yep. Broncos getting
Who would
that
have
upset.
seen this coming?
You
Right.
apparently.
Yep. That was definitely a shocker for sure. Definitely a shocker.
The first time in how many years that Denver beats them?
Well, it's the first time since Mahomes has been playing that Denver's won. Haven't beaten Mahomes since Sunday, so I mean, big win for Denver. But I mean, watching this game, it just sort of felt like everything was bouncing their way. It was just one of those games that just everything was clicking for them. You hold Mahomes to no touchdown. I think this might be the first time in his career or second time in his career that this happens. Not too sure about that, but either way, very solid defensive performance. It does come out after the game that Mahomes was dealing with an illness, but I mean, I don't think that should. It was just it was just one of those weeks, man. Denver had their number, and KC wasn't able to get things done. Sky Moore obviously dropped that touchdown pass. Okay, it was a bit of an overthrow. He did have to reach a little bit, but you want your guy to come down with that, and they clamped down on Kelsey, and the Chiefs just couldn't do anything. I mean, you eliminate Kelsey from the equation, and this offense struggles.
Mm-hmm. Nice to see though for Denver that their defense was able to actually show out, and it's not didn't just disappear. Obviously, we know early on in the season that was a big problem for them. It was the offense that was carrying, and now in this game it was kind of the opposite. And yeah, also Javonte Williams, probably his best game since he came back from the injury last year. So nice to see
Yes.
him. Hopefully he can continue on a nice streak. We
100%.
know he's
Yeah.
been through some tough times. So
Yeah, 100%. I mean, hopefully Mahomes can get better as soon as possible. But great win by Denver. That one shock. That was a shocker for sure. But Denver getting the win, getting a nice win there. I think we got that game. Let's go to New Orleans, Indianapolis. I mean,
that was a shootout.
yeah, it was a shootout. Nice win by New Orleans, for sure. You like to see them get that win.
Yeah, nice bounce back game for Derek Carr, who he had a lot of scrutiny after that Thursday night game the week before.
Yes.
So that was a good bounce back game from him, throwing for 310 yards, 2 touchdowns, and no picks. And also Taysom Hill. All season we've seen him just like he's obviously always featured in the offense. He'll come in at quarterback sometimes, but this week he had a really nice game, ran for 2 touchdowns as well. So very nice game from Taysom Hill.
Yes. And Rashid Shaheed too. He looked amazing that game.
Yes, sir. That's one of my guys there, Rashid Shaheed. So happy to see him catching those bombs.
Yep. Absolutely. Nice win by New Orleans, getting that game done. Getting a nice win.
Yeah, sir. Even Chris Olave 5 for 46. All around, all the receivers did their thing for New Orleans. And now on the Indianapolis side, they put up a nice little fight. They almost had a chance to win this game.
Yeah,
Josh
100%.
Downs, another guy, rookie, 3rd-round pick, and he's consistently been able to produce for Indianapolis and be with their like 1A. They're probably their 1B with him and Michael Pittman.
Right. Yeah.
He's put together a really nice year, and he was a guy who was projected to go a bit higher in the draft, but due to like stuff like injuries and stuff, he fell in the draft. So let's see, that hasn't really hindered him in the NFL. And he's very good. I've been impressed with him, and even with Jonathan Taylor back, Zach Moss still able to produce for Indianapolis. So it looks like it will be a 2-headed backfield for the rest of the way here, because Zach Moss has just not gone away.
Right.
And he did get in the end zone, I believe, 100%. On that one rush. So nice to see that. But Jonathan Taylor also had himself a day. Probably his best game since coming back from injury. 12 for 95, averaging almost 8 yards a carry is just elite. So big ups on Indy. And if they have this 2-headed monster, like you mentioned, I think this offense can start rolling. And, Indy can be a really underrated team moving forward. And I can see them sneaking away a few wins here, getting a few upsets, and looking good down in Indy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Gardner Minshew's really held it down for them with Richardson being out. Good on him, and we did see him get banged up towards the end of the game. Hopefully, he's good. I think he should be fine. But yeah, he's a strong guy, and good. Well, I say good on Indy. They lost the game, but I found they played relatively well. Just New Orleans was playing really well as well, so it was a good game overall.
Yep, 100%, absolutely. Let's go to Miami, New England. Really nice to see Jalen Ramsey back.
That's a pick.
Yeah, got the interception too. Dolphins get another nice win. You love to see Miami getting it done again. You do. Really, it is really. Wait.
Yeah, if you could, yeah.
It is really unfortunate that Kendrick Bourne is out for the year. Really, really sad to see that. Hopefully he can get better as soon as possible.
Yeah, former San Francisco 49er. I always liked him on the Niners, so it's unfortunate. He's put together a really nice year as well. He was their main target there, so it's unfortunate to see in a year where he was really putting everything together. Probably could have earned himself a nice contract if he continued like this. Unfortunate to see him go down with such a serious injury.
Yeah, that torn ACL, that's brutal. That's brutal for Kendrick Bourne.
Yeah, it really is. And on Miami side, this was probably Jalen Waddle, who had been struggling a bit this year. He's been banged up here and there, but this was probably his best game of the year. 7 for 121. Very nice game from him.
100%, 100%.
And we saw him back in that end zone doing his Waddle celebration. So.
Yup. Yeah, nice. Really nice win by Miami too. Really nice win.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It was looking grim at the start. New England I think it was 10-0 New England or 10-3, whatever it was. And then Miami their offense woke up and defense got that Jalen Ramsey with the pick, and it just sort of shifted momentum. And who knows, Miami, I was telling you this earlier, that their defense was a little shaky, but maybe with Jalen Ramsey, it's just adds this whole new dimension, and this defense becomes arguably a decent defense and holds this offense and team to elite standards. So we shall see with Miami.
Absolutely. I mean, yeah, nice job. Like talking about Jalen Ramsey adding a whole new dimension to the defense. I 100% agree there. 100%. Yeah, great win by Miami. You guys want to go to the Bears Chargers game?
Yeah, we could.
All right.
Sunday nighter.
Another brutal loss that night. Oh, it was painful, but great game from the Chargers. They dominated. Just a brutal loss. Another brutal loss for the Bears.
Yeah, I did pick the Bears in this game to cover.
Yeah.
And they couldn't do it. I trusted in Tyson Bagent. He had looked good the week before, so I was hoping that it would carry over, especially with the Chargers, the way that you can never really predict how these guys are going to play.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, good game for the Chargers. Austin Eckler had a nice receiving game.
100%.
Not much on the ground, but really he produced it. Also, it was nice to see Quentin Johnson, a guy I was high on coming in. Finally, Josh Palmer went down, and he took the opportunity and had a nice game, 5 for 50. So good for him.
100%. 100%. Hopefully, Josh Palmer can get better as soon as possible.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but really, really, really nice win by the Chargers, getting it done there. And a brutal loss for my Bears. It's just rough, man. It's just as rough.
Yeah, has Justin Fields been ruled out already for next week, or is there a chance that he plays?
Let me see that. Let me see on Justin Fields.
I feel like he's been ruled out already, but I'm not sure if that was from last week. I feel like.
Let me see. Let me see. I want to see his status. It's still undecided right now. Just looking. I mean, hang on one second. Let's see this. I mean, hopefully he is able to play against New Orleans. Hopefully he's able to do that.
Yeah. What for? Question for you, Michael. What have been your thoughts on Bagent though in his 2 games?
He's had some nice games. I will say that. Like, he's been playing some nice ball. I mean, we do need Justin Fields to hopefully he can get back as soon as possible. Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like for an undrafted guy, he's come in and he's done like as good as they could have probably. Well, not as good as they could have hoped for, but like I feel like he's done relatively well for an undrafted guy coming in.
Yeah, 100%, 100%. But brutal loss by the Bears again. It's just rough. It was a rough one.
I mean, how do you feel about the season going forward? What are you expecting, or you think they can turn this around, or no?
I hope they can turn this around. That's my hope. I think they can. Really, I like that we got Montez Sweat. I do like that move to go and get him. Hopefully, I hope we can turn this around. That's my hope.
Yeah. But I was gonna say about the trade, but we'll talk about that a little later.
Yeah. Should we go to
The Monday
Lions
night
Raiders? Yep. You want to go to Lions Raiders?
huge game from Jahmyr Gibbs.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
That run game in general, even Craig Reynolds had a nice little game there. The Raiders could really not do anything stopping that run. And then
I
Amon
want to
Ross
see this productivity. Oh, sorry, my bad, Brian.
I'll go.
I want to see Jahmyr Gibbs and this productivity stay the same when David Montgomery's back, but I doubt it because I know how much Dan Campbell loves Montgomery and just the high praise he's given him. But man, Gibbs looks really good.
Yeah,
especially for that,
he's looked amazing. Absolutely.
especially that touchdown run or the way he split those two defenders. That was wow. I love that. I was amazed by that.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. 100%.
And even as well, Amon-Ra St. Brown, he was questionable coming in with an illness. You couldn't tell with how he played. 6 for 108. Very nice game from him. And Laporta continues to be one of the best young tight ends in the league.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. 100%.
Really defying the odds because we usually see these rookie tight ends come in and they don't really produce right away in year one. So it's nice to see a little change there. He's been very good for them.
Yeah, 100%, man. 100%.
And then you look on the other side, Jimmy Garoppolo, he's got bench now. They confirmed that Aiden O'Connell is going to be starting the rest of the way. And brutal game for that offense. Couldn't get anything going.
Yeah, 100%.
Offensive line couldn't really hold up. Garoppolo was overthrowing some balls to Devontae Adams. Some drops. It was just nothing was going right for them.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. 100%. I mean, Marcus Peters had a really nice pick six, though, and the defense had a really nice game too for the Raiders.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they kept them in it. I mean, for the majority of that game, it was a one-score game, and just towards the end, I think the Lions sort of rolled with it and took that two possession game. But I mean, defense kept them in. Just the offense couldn't get things rolling, and I mean, we heard the news, right? GM and coach are both gone, so they're replaced. And ever since I want to say Gruden's been out, this team has just not looked the same. And that offense has not been good.
That is true. Since Gruden's been gone, they have been because they were always usually a team that hovers around like 500 and can make the playoffs. Like they had 10 wins a few years ago, like 2-3 years ago. So they've always been a team that's on the fringes of the playoffs, and now they're just you come in, you see the Raiders, and you're not excited to watch them play. That's for sure. You just not many high hopes for them.
They did. The Raiders did make Antonio Pierce the interim head coach, which I thought was a great move. That was a really nice move by the Raiders to do that. Antonio Pierce, Giants legend, winning a Super Bowl with them against the Patriots, which was really nice to see. Legendary. Really, 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 really nice move by the Raiders to do that. Make him the interim hope. And best of luck to Antonio Pierce.
I just found it odd that they would do it like the day after the trade deadline. You feel like if they're kind of clearing house and having a fire sale, you thought they would have done it a bit earlier. So
Hmm.
that's one thing I was just a bit confused about. And it's just sad to really see now Devontae Adams like kind of near the final years of his prime, and we're seeing him wasted in Vegas in this like bad situation.
I mean, new
Yeah.
head coach, maybe things change, hopefully, but I mean, we shall see. We'll see what Vegas does in the coming weeks.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Yeah. We'll see what they do in the coming weeks for sure. Uh, yeah, I think we got that for week 8 and every. Do you guys want to touch on anything else?
I guess we can move on to the trade deadline stuff.
Yeah, we can do that. Yeah, let's do that. Uh, yeah, I mean, I like the Bears getting Montez Sweat. I like the Seattle Seahawks getting Leonard Williams. That was a
Yeah, that was big.
great move.
Mm-hmm. It kind of went under the radar a bit because it happened the day before, so I don't think many
Yeah,
people are really talking about that. That was a really nice move for them, especially that they don't really have that much on the defensive line, so he'll be a big piece for them.
yeah, he just
Yeah, and they're just sort of filling a hole that they need because we know how good the secondary can be. So add him to the interior on that D line. Maybe it elevates it. I'm pretty sure it will, but very good that Seattle's making moves and really going for it, trying to make a run.
absolutely, absolutely. I mean, he just bolsters their already amazing defense. Uh, so, I mean, that defense just got even better.
Mm-hmm. And on Montez Sweat, you said you like that moves, yeah. And yeah, what do you think about you guys? It's 2 years in a row at the deadline. You guys trade your second.
Yeah,
It's going to be probably an early second. So how do you feel about that?
man, um, definitely interesting for sure. We just have to see how that all plays out.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I like going and getting Montez Sweat. I do like that. Uh, best of luck to him on the Bears. Best of luck to Leonard Williams on the Seahawks. Uh, yeah, we have had a. I do. We just have to see how the second plays out and whatnot for sure. So that's my response.
I still do like the move though because I feel like Montez Sweat's definitely a better like piece than Claypool was last year. So that because the Claypool one last year was questionable at the time. So this one I feel like you're getting an asset as long as they can re-sign him, then it'll be worth it.
100%, 100%.
And then we also see Chase Young go to the Niners a few hours later.
Yeah.
I really like that move for us. Obviously, one of the best defensive lines in the NFL already. You add a former second overall pick to that defensive front, and it looks really scary. And it's
Yes.
basically like that third rounder it's a compensatory pick that we got from losing our assistant GM last year to the Titans. So using them picks wisely and going to pick up a nice player that could help us out to possibly win a Super Bowl.
Yes.
We'll see how he looks with us, and there's obviously going to be less attention paid to him than there was in Washington, as we have so many weapons on our defensive line. So that could help him out as well.
Yes. 100%. 100%. Uh,
Josh Dobbs, anything to add?
I love the Vikings going and getting Josh Dobbs. That was a great move. Great move.
I mean, I feel like he's that veteran presence we need just in case the Jaron Hall project doesn't work out. I feel like he can come in and we saw what he has done in Arizona. He's played some mistake-free football, and he's just got to supply the football because we got playmakers. So as long as he's capable of supplying it, and he adds a dimension to the run game that we haven't really ever seen with Kirk for the past 6 seasons, a pretty one-dimensional quarterback, pocket passer, and getting a guy like Josh Dobbs and even maybe Jaron Hall when he does play Sunday. Maybe implement some RPOs, implement some QB draws, something with mobility that we haven't really seen. So interesting for the Vikings. I still think Kirk's the man, but I mean I'm interested to see what happens.
Yeah, I am very interested to see what happens as well there.
I also can't believe it's already been 6 years that he's in Minnesota. Wow,
Yeah,
time passes fast, man.
absolutely. Yeah, 100%.
And also,
We also move away from not long, like our left guard Ezra Cleveland. I'm not upset with the trade, but I would have much rather him do it at the beginning of the season when there were rumors that we were trading him and bring in Dalton Reisner off the start. I don't know what took them so long to go get that big free agent guard that we needed. Because, I mean, ever since he's been in this O line, we've seen the shift. His first full game was against the Niners, and we just saw what this O line has done. And then last week, it was great again. So just, I guess he was the missing piece that unlocked this O line. And Ezra Cleveland just didn't fit. Plus, it's a contract year. At least we're getting a sixth. Maybe at the beginning of the season they would have gotten something higher, but I mean, who knows? It's in the past. Happy at least they got some asset for him, and we'll see what happens.
Right. Yeah. We'll see what happens.
were there any other moves? I feel like
I
that
feel like
was
we're missing one.
Yeah, no, that's all I was gonna say. I feel like we're missing
Yeah.
something.
Let me check.
Yeah.
Yeah, the actual biggest trade at the deadline wasn't even part of the NFL. It was James Harden getting them.
Yeah. I mean, you also had Rasul Douglas to the Bills. I like
Oh,
that
yeah,
move too.
that's the one.
That was a great move by the Bills to go and get him.
Yeah, because what did they? It was only like a sixth, right? Or was it something? Or was it a third? It might have been a third, actually.
Might have been a third. I have to see that.
I was surprised about that one. It was a good move for the Bills.
Donovan Peoples-Jones to Detroit for, I believe, a late pick. I don't remember.
Yeah, when I saw that move, I thought maybe the Browns were gonna make a little bigger move. I thought maybe they could have went to go get Terry McLaurin, seeing what Washington was kind of selling. Didn't happen though. Not even for Detroit. It kind of it's a question mark a bit on how much do they really trust Jamison Williams that they're coming to bring in another receiver.
Yeah. I think Jamison Williams has a huge role in Detroit's offense, so I do.
Mm-hmm.
But it was really nice for the Lions to bring in Donovan Peoples-Jones. That was a nice move.
Mm-hmm. Gives them some depth at the position, and on Jamison Williams, it's still very early. We know that he hasn't. Everything hasn't really gone his way so far with the injuries and the betting stuff. So hopefully he can produce for Detroit.
We saw him, I think, implemented the most in his career last week. I mean, Monday night against the Raiders, I think got like 3 balls or something like that. So hopefully that role just keeps expanding because we know how much of a playmaker he can be when he does have the football. It's just a thing. It's just a confidence thing, I believe, with him. Like he's got to get those reps in, get those catches in, and he'll start feeling better and really start rolling.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, I think we got that. Anything else you guys want to touch on?
I don't. But there was even the Kevin Byard deal, but that was like last week. So
Yeah.
that doesn't really count on that trade deadline. But
Yeah.
that's probably about it.
Yeah, I think we got that there. Thank you guys for coming on.
Appreciate you having us on again.
Thank you. You too.
Thanks for having us.
You're welcome. Thank you. All right. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. Take care, guys. Have a good one. You guys have a good one. Take care.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
See you.
All right, see you guys. Bye. All right. All right. And hopefully you guys enjoyed this episode. Take care, guys. Have a good one. Bye.